We're getting ready to separate our crankcases. Honda uses, I believe it's 8 bolts on this. We got 2, 4, 6, 8 bolts to separate the crankcases. But I'm going to be pulling the crankshaft out the other side. So we have our keyway here, and there's a couple different ways we're going to get that out because they could be kind of stubborn. One way that I like to do it, with some caution, is I'll take my punch set, take one of my smaller ones here, one that's not wider than the keyway itself, and then I'm going to take this. Now watch here, we need to be careful. I'm going to tap it till it starts to push it out the keyway like that. Now my that one's in there pretty good. Okay, will you give me my flywheel over there? A small engine, it's called a flywheel. What may we call this? Let's get professional. Yeah, that is an automotive application where we do harmonic balancer. So we also call these a rotor, not on small engines, but just anything that's connected to the crankshaft that has something to do with timing of the ignition. Those are some common names. I don't know of a small engine manufacturer out there that doesn't call this the flywheel. The reason I want you to grab this is I want to show you something that's kind of cool and a neat little trick to do for storage. Is I can take my magnet and store my keyway and my nut.
Oh.
I'm just, trying to be organized here. Make sense?
That's awesome.
All right. There you go. That's the stuff that somebody has to teach you. It's not in a manual. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that my keyway's out, I will be able to pull through this seal without ruining the seal. Brian was making note of that earlier, concerned about that. If I would have overlooked that, I would have damaged that flipping it, right?
Yep.
So I'm glad that he's looking out here. All right, I'm going to take this here. I'm going to switch to this here. Want to hold that for me? Okay. What am I doing right now?
I'm kissing.
I'm going in a pattern opposite of each other, right?
Yep.
I got them all.
You didn't get the one there. Chances are
Oh, thank you. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to switch tools here. Fast. Push you guys off to the same point, and then we'll pull our. How are we doing on time?
2:15.
What time?
250.
Since everything's unkissed, I don't have to worry about things. Somebody start me a baggie. Good little magnet. Do I like that little driver?
Oh yeah.
Save me some time. Thank you, sir. Okay, Ryan, go get your largest flat blade screwdriver out of your kit. I think you got the closest toolbox. Okay, can you give it to Michael for me? Okay, to split this case, we got a couple different ways we can do this. I want you to look right here. These are casted in reliefs that we're going to take our screwdriver and we're going to pry this up. Okay, we're going to twist. We do not want to do this, okay? What we're going to try and do is we're going to twist. And you're going to watch, it's probably going to come pretty easy. There's a couple different ways we can do this. But thing is, this is on precise alignment dowel pins. If I get ahead of him or he gets ahead of me, what happens?
Wedges.
It just wedges it. So him and I are, and you guys are going to do this in lab, we're going to practice. Ready? So on the count of 3, Michael, I'd like to twist. You can go either one. So 1, 2, 3. I'm a little bit faster. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We got in sync. Took us about 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and try this. We want to make sure we're good here. And don't put pressure down because we're trying to go up. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. That's it. Okay? And the case just simply lifts off. I'm trying to be careful with that oil seal, that little washer we heard is normal. I want to show you one more way to do this, okay? Can somebody get me one of those pullers that we used for the flywheel? Okay, this is what I love about the Honda tack training, Suzuki, Polaris, all that, is, you know, this is the way you do it. And what happens, though, if this gets broke off? Why don't you get in here at the camera? Can you see where this corner's actually rolled off already? When I was watching Michael, you know, kind of test fit in there, you could see where there's this edge is kind of curled off a little bit. Well, if that tab's broke, we got to have some other ways to do things, okay? Now, with those access points, all your motorcycle engines, that's typically what we look for is little pry points like that, so we can pry cylinders off, pry oil pans off, all kinds of things. Per the manual for this model, it says to use those pry points. But there was a different Honda tack training. One of those training modules you guys are going to have available to you, that they had a great idea that said to take and use a thick part of the boss. Let's see, we got these two across from each other. Go ahead. We put our nut on there. And we might have to get one size larger puller to do this. We'll see if this one's going to do it.
That's going to be close.
Okay. Okay. So let's just stop right there. So you can see here, I don't want to pull here where it's thin and hollow, do I?
No.
Can you see that in the camera? It's real thin and hollow. I'm pulling on a thick part where it's a boss or a supported area. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then what I do is use my puller and go ahead and pull it off. Pretty cool?
Yeah.
What kills me about this is it's, you know, maybe it was later on through the training where somebody went, hey, why don't we try this? And it never made it to the service manual. So, you know, all of those technicians that are taking advantage of the Honda tack training gain this extra information.